Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hi.
How are you all doing today?
Great. Very good.
Well, I'm glad to be back here. I think it was February last time I was in church here. So it's been a while. And I hear you're getting a new minister, so that's good. Tell her I said hello. Well, you know, I'm really glad to be back here, and one of the things that I definitely appreciate is your music. I was recently up in Charleston, West Virginia, giving a talk at the Unity Church there, and they're a fantastic church as well, but they always pick songs that are in strange keys. So it's hard to sing along, so I was very happy that these were easy tunes to sing along to. So today's talk is called There Is No Later with God. And this came to me one day when I was sitting and I was wondering, you know, if we're all on the spiritual path and we're all interested in waking up, existing within this divine presence, which we do, whether we know it or not, what is the real thing that gets in our way? And what came to me was that we put off until later being in God now. And the truth of God, really, from my experience through my meditations and my studies, is that God is nowhere but now. If you've ever read Eckhart Tolle's work, The Power of Now, Alan Watts' work, it all comes back to this point that now is all there is, and when a person can remain established in that now, in that presence, that is where true awakening occurs. I was recently reading a book called Practicing the Presence by Brother Lawrence. He was a Catholic monk who discovered that if he gave every action that he did to God, no matter what he was doing, they put him to work in the kitchen in his monastery, and he hated working in the kitchen. He just did not like cooking, he did not like washing dishes, and so he fought with it, and he struggled with it. And then one day, during one of his prayer interludes, it occurred to him that by thinking that he needed to be praying all the time, or he needed to be doing something else specific to experience God, he was pushing it away. So anytime someone asked him to do something, specifically in the kitchen, he would just give that up to God, as though that simple act was serving God. And he found that in time, the more he did that, this peace started to descend upon him. And eventually, his entire existence was existing within this peace. And when I read this book, it was very transformational for me, because being a minister, working with people, having a healing practice, I'm always trying to help. I'm always trying to change. I'm always trying to bring someone, into this state of wholeness, of wellness, of spiritual realization. And I realized that I had expectations for people, and I had expectations for myself in regards to the work I was doing. And it occurred to me that if I simply did the work before me, giving talks such as this, working with individuals in healing sessions, just treated that moment right there as service to God, I had no control over what happened. I had no control over who got the message. I had no control over who was healed. I had no control over what the final results were. I just simply said, whatever it is, take it away. Okay? And interestingly enough, the more I did that, the more peace I also had within my life. And the more success I had working with individuals who are receptive to getting better, to feeling well, to waking up. And so, this was part of my path, which led me to the realization that there is never any later with God. There is not anything that you need to do, to think about, to feel. There's nothing you need to get over to experience God now, because it's there right now. Anything else is just an excuse. It's just a putting off of the reality of God right now. Okay? So as you're sitting there, as you're watching and listening, I want you to just pay attention to how you feel right now. Just what's going through your mind. How do you feel in your body? Are you comfortable? Are you waiting to go do something else later today? Are you waiting for the music to start up again? Just what's going on? And whatever you're feeling right now, imagine that that is what God feels like. That's it. Okay? In your bulletin, the statement of faith, God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one, that is all. Well, that means that every single thing, anything that you can experience is God. Everything. Your thoughts, your craziness inside your head, your emotions, the good feelings, the people that you see, the places that you go, the gum in your mouth, everything is God. Okay? So to think that something is not, again, is going to cause you doubt, it's going to cause confusion, and it's going to put off that reality of experiencing God right now. Remember, God is eternal. One time it dawned on me that, there is no end to this. There is no end to any of this. There is an end to our body, there is an end to our mind, and there is an end to our personality. But what there is not an end to is life. Life itself is eternal. We've been born, but we have not been born. We have come into a body. Okay? Before we were in this body, we were something. Okay? After we leave this body, we are something. It is that thing which goes through birth and death, which is the real you, which is the real God. And spiritual practice, coming to church, practicing meditation, prayer, all that that's doing is turning your awareness back from this external change to experience that eternal nature. In the Yoga Sutras, there's a line that says, one of the prime problems with people is that they take the non-eternal to be eternal, and they take the eternal to be non-eternal. The non-eternal is this changing phenomenon that we're always experiencing. Earlier today, I was talking with Phil in the blue shirt. What's your name?
Paul.
Paul. Okay, I was talking with Paul, and he said to me, I like to remind people that that thing that they were, or that essence, or that being that they were when they were 5 years old, is really what they are right now. It's just that from 5 until 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, whatever, we've been listening to what other people have said about us. Okay? We've been saying, okay, well, we need to define ourselves through our jobs, through our relationships, through all these things. But when we were 5 years old, as Paul said, we had all this power in our mind. We could jump over buildings. We could do anything. We had all this creativity within us. Okay? And we still have it. It's just covered up by this changing phenomenon. So, one of my teacher, Roy Davis, when he gives talks, he often reminds people the same similar fact that when he was a child, there was something in him which was still the same as he is now, and he's 78 now. Okay, so if you think about it, aside from being older, aside from looking in the mirror and noticing you have a few more gray hairs, or you actually have facial hair, or whatever it might be, do you really feel different? I was talking about men. Okay, just to clear that up. Right. When children are younger, they don't have facial hair, but as they hit puberty, then they do. Don't take that where I wasn't going.
We already did.
All right, but anyway, back up.